Okay, guys, so here's the thing. Apparently, the feature on my mic was dialed all the way up for this, so I've done what I can with the audio. It's not full it's not fully okay, but you know what? It's what I could do. And so it's still better than what would have been the audio the on my phone, which is what I used to record this video. So I'm sorry if it's still bad, but this was the best I could do. Hope you enjoy the video because I was not about to re record a video. Just enjoy the video. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's video, which is what I do have the book with me. Defend the Dawn by Bridget Kemmerer. Now, there's a few things that I have some gripes with, but there's a lot of things that were done well. And we're gonna just get into talking about the characters and the stories. Starting off with some new characters that we get to meet, and that is Ryan and his crew. The the I'm gonna say envoy, the envoy from Austrieri. Now Ryan, of course, he's not who he says he is in the beginning. No, he's the he's the current king of Austria. Fought his way there because he's an illegitimate son, and his I believe it's uncle Orin Crane is trying to take the throne, and Ryan had to fight to become king, and his hold is not very steady, but he's promised things like steel to the people of which Kandala has. And so that's literally the sticking point of this entire book was Australia needs steel, Kandala needs moonflower. Each kingdom has what they need. Now, we've also discovered a little thing about moonflower, which we're going to get into in a moment. Um, but I really Ryan is an interesting character. He's very interesting. Of his crew, I personally like Gwen and her daughter the most. It's just wholesome right there. And Ryan, there's something about Ryan that I like, and then there's something I don't like. And I can't quite pinpoint what it is that's making me not like him all that much. Like, I like him, but not to the extent that I like other characters, if that makes sense. Because, yeah, um, there are just some decisions he makes, and I'm like, why? Like, for Bella Crane and keeping her in that locked room, he could have told Corey. I understand he didn't trust the man, but he could have told him, could have told someone. And Cork would have kept her from Tessa, so Tessa wouldn't feel like she needed to step in line and try and stop everything. Like, it would have been fine. Who knows? Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I just don't have what it takes. But yeah, so the new characters for this book have certainly been interesting. I don't remember a lot about the other members of the crew, just because there was so much to keep up with in this book. And like, honestly, something I feel like I need to do with Bridget Kemmerer is like I devour her books. Might not have been very evident that I devoured Defend the Dawn, but every time I read it, I was reading it as fast as I possibly could. So I devour these books, and then suddenly it's like, oh my god, I don't actually know some of these more side characters. Uh, like Gwen and her daughter are in there often enough, and you get to see Korik with a child. It's wholesome, and it's cute. Now, we're gonna finish. We're gonna not talk about them anymore, and instead, we're gonna talk about Tessa and Korik's relationship. It was plenty strained for this book, very strained actually. Ever up until basically the end, and now they're separated again. Like, give these two a break. I want them together to happy. And I need the next book now. I don't get the next book now because, as far as I know, there's only a title reveal, and the title is kind of scary for what could be the third book. But yeah, so their relationship's been on the rocks for the book, and like, I get it. It's a necessary thing, but make it not last so long. Granted, this book took place over the course of, I think, like 5 days, so it's not actually that long. It just feels like it when you're reading it, because you're living out these conflicts, and you're just like, just make up, please, just do it. But I'm glad that the fights are, the length of the fights are a little more realistic. Next, we're going to talk about Lachlan and the teeny tiny bit of growth I have seen from him. Now, Lachlan, he's a rebel. He doesn't trust any of the royals. He thinks that there's something that they're hiding. He thinks that they're the reason for all of this, blah, 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 blah. But he does have some growth. It's very minute from what I've seen. And I feel like it stems mostly from seeing Cork restrain himself on the ship, because obviously Cork doesn't want to defend Tessa and himself even sometimes, and Lachlan's making that because of some things that Lachlan's saying and all of that, and it's like, but he restrains himself. He won't fight. He hasn't, like, he's had guards take their hands off of Lachlan when Lachlan does something that he probably shouldn't be doing. And so Lachlan, near the end, realizes that there's something about Cork that he has not been seeing, and I think that's really nice. And so that tiny little bit of growth ended with when they all get separated. Cork is with Lachlan and Orton Crane, and Tessa is with Rocco and the remaining crew of the ship. And Lachlan does not reveal Cork's name. He calls him Wes. He makes sure that Orton Crane does not, like, realize who Cork is. And it's really nice. Of course, he could also be doing this because Harriston would not be too pleased to find out his brother is killed. But, you know what? I'm going to choose this out of the goodness of his heart. I'm choosing that. Now, I did love to see that tiny little bit of growth. Lachlan's starting to grow on me. I still don't particularly like him that much, but maybe by the end of the third book, I will. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Third book's not out yet. Third book's not even close to being out yet, so I'm just gonna suffer and wait. I'm gonna talk about Harrison and his outlaw adventure that he's had in this book, because Harriston has decided to take on Cork and Tessa's mantle of, but instead of bringing elixir, he is bringing coin. And honestly, that's what a lot of those families do need. They need money because, as we saw, some families with, I think her name was Violet, some families can't even afford shoes. Like, the coin will help them quite a bit. May not help with getting moonflower petals, but it will make their quality of life a little bit better. Little bit. And yeah, also his alias name is Fox because Violet gives that to him, and it's so cute. And that him doing all of this actually is going to help him with the rebels, because I think it's Arella Cherry. Consul Cherry is trying to get Harriston thrown off of the throne. Like, they're overthrowing him. Cherry and the captain of the guard are trying to overthrow Harriston right now because they have evidence, heavy air quotes around evidence, that he's been poisoning Kandala, which obviously he isn't. No way is he doing that. And I love to see that everyone has been hearing about Fox, and that from probably Violet, the rumors about Fox leaving all of this stuff around he's been leaving this thing for people in the wilds, and this rumor has been going around like it's Fox. And Kari finds out that from Harriston that he is Fox, and so now the people can kind of get to know him a little bit better. They know what he has been doing without anyone knowing that it's actually him. And yeah, so essentially winning over the rebels a little bit, just a tiny bit, so that the rebels can help him get his kingdom back. Because right now it's such a disaster on both sides, on all sides, with Tessa, with Cork, with Harriston. It's a fucking disaster. I also want to talk about the fact that Harriston and Quint, that relationship, maybe a possibility. Who knows? I certainly ship them, but you know what? It's not like a confirmed thing. There's hints. There's hints at it. Hints. I would love to see that actually come to fruition. Bridget, come on. I also want to talk about the brigandines that were following the Dawn Chaser and obviously had an intent to kill Cork. I want to know who sent them. I don't think it was Salister. I don't think it was Alessander. It had to be someone on the consoles. But it would be so hard to figure it out. Maybe it was Cherry? But I don't know. There's not enough information. Just like there's not enough information on who is actually poisoning Kandala. And now we're going to get to the Moonflowers. Because turns out Moonflower is both a poison and a cure. The stems are poisonous, and the petals are the cure to that poison. So it makes sense that that's the only thing that makes the sickness go away. So it makes sense. And my theory is it's in the water supply. That's why everyone, even those in the royal sector, get it. It's the fact that it's in the water supply. It has to be. And why people in the wilds would have more of a hard time with it, because they can't even get any of the cure. Or if they can, it's so little. So it's easier for them to become susceptible to the poison and fall and just die from it because they are being poisoned. Now, the thing is, who is poisoning them is the problem. That's something we need to figure out. I don't think it's Cherry, because she's of Sunkeep. She's from Sunkeep, and it's Embridge and Moonlight Plains that are benefiting from this. And that's the thing. The person doing the poisoning has to directly benefit from it, or even indirectly. But the indirectly is kind of harder to navigate. So to directly benefit, it has to be Alexander or someone in his close circle in Moonlight Plains, or what the fuck is her name? Or Lisa Marpetta, or someone in her circle from Embridge. Like, it's gotta be one of them. And I feel like whoever is doing the poisoning of Kandala, so whoever's poisoned Kandala is doing it so these two places can benefit the most from it. And so I feel like this person is connected to that somehow. Don't know how. And I feel like that's also the key to who sent those brigantines after Coric and Tessa and Lachlan and all of the others. Because that's the person that doesn't want them to return with more Moonflower. There's such a tight hold on Moonflower and Kandala because there's only 2 regions that can produce it. Now, I am going to acknowledge that they never found out who actually planned the deaths. I don't think. Yeah, no. Like, there was the attempt. So, for the Consul of Trader's Landing, he is a traitor. We know that. But I believe it was said that there was someone that was never found in the conspiracy about all of that. And, like, they still don't know to this day who was behind everything or surrounding it. And so, it could be whoever that is that started all of this and is continuing to do it. Now, that poses a problem because we don't know anything about that situation. Not really. And so it's really interesting. I want to see, I'm probably going to reread Defy the Night to see if I can find anything in there, like any like subtext or something like that could point to the fact to who might be behind some of this. It would seem a little too obvious to be Alexander or someone in his circle. It can't be him because that would be too obvious. He benefits the most, and that's the problem. Maybe it's also someone who doesn't really benefit from it. Maybe. I don't know. But someone is doing it, and I want to figure out who. Before the 3rd book comes out, I'm gonna look into this. I'm gonna look into this, and I'm gonna see if I can find anything, because I really want to see if I can come up with anything before the 3rd book comes out. But you know what? We'll see. We'll see if I come up with anything. I would just love to figure it out. Also, with the addition of Harriston's little section, so we get his point of view. I believe I know what sickness he has. Well, illness. What chronic condition he has. Just based off of the perspectives that we got. And I will post a video about that later, because I'm going to milk this for everything it's worth. Like any true content creator. Now, this is going to be a little out of order, but I want to know. I don't know where Bella is by the end of this book. Don't know anything about that. But if she is not on the Dawn Chaser, if she's not there, and instead she finds her way to Orin Crane, and she knows Korg's actual name, what's gonna prevent her from spoiling Korg's true identity to Orin Crane, and then they're up shit creek? Like, what's gonna happen there? Third book in this series, Destroy the Day. Currently has there's finally an expected publication. I don't know when that came out, but the expected publication is next year in January. So this is gonna be a long wait, and we are definitely going to be keeping an eye on this. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, and I'm gonna figure out. I'm gonna come up with some theories. Maybe we'll see if I've got the time. But yeah, on Goodreads it says "buckle up, details to come." That's scary. Also, how is everything gonna wrap up in just one more book? There's too much. I'm kind of scared for the third book, but you know what? Next year when it comes, I'm gonna read it. I am. But yeah, so that's the end of this video. Enough rambling. If you liked this video, go ahead, give it a like. If you want to see more content from me, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you get notified when I post a new video, because I don't know how to stick to a schedule. But we'll see. If you want to support me, I do have links to my books in the description, and I will see you all in the next video.